Coming up next, it's the beginning of our interactive marathon. All your emails and our answers, love it or not, it's the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive for Thursday, April 15, 2010. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside Linda Kay, the lovely Linda Kay. You're all dressed in black like AC/DC today.
Oh,
You're a song, you know.
Yeah, but they're also in town this week.
Here in Milwaukee?
Absolutely.
Tremendous.
Which is Algonquin for the good land.
And the man they call Meathead. And welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Been a while since we've been with you. About a minute, and let's get right to your emails. And our first email comes to us from Ireland, a gentleman by the name of Connor. Listen to this carefully, y'all. The time between Lockdown 2009 and Hulk Hogan's arrival was the most enjoyable period for me as a TNA fan. I originally began watching TNA because of guys like Sting, Kevin Nash, Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, and Kurt Angle. But as the Main Event Mafia versus TNA Originals feud progressed, I became more interested in the younger guys and started truly appreciating their in-ring ability. The older guys were even given some performances that would outshine the younger talent. Scott Steiner deserving a notable mention after his superb performance at Bound for Glory, where he carried Booker T. This isn't a pop at Hogan Bischoff, by the way. I realized that just because that particular era appealed to me, it may not have done it for the majority. In your own opinions, however, what era of TNA was the most enjoyable for yourselves as wrestling fans? That comes from Connor over in Ireland. Meathead, your most enjoyable era of TNA wrestling.
I've never met Connor before, but I like him. Because you know what? That was an enjoyable time for me in TNA. Main Event Mafia versus the New Blood, Young Blood, Frontline, whatever they were calling them, had its moments, but it's really the younger guys that started to step up. That's when you had Curry Man and Super Eric and all those guys actually starting to step up. It was enjoyable to me. You got to see AJ Styles really start to break out again. And I'm left kind of really confused by what's been going on since Hogan/Bischoff have showed up. So Connor, we're right here, buddy.
You think it's CONOR?
No.
Connor?
No. And I think you're insulting me.
No.
It could be
It's
CONOR.
an Irish accent.
Yeah, it's an Ireland-dash accent.
Shut up. Linda,
Ass.
TNA wrestling, your thoughts? I think you're relatively new to TNA.
Well, to be honest with you, I've just been quite a loyal fan of WWE.
Oh, you're one of those fans, huh?
Well, but obviously I'm broadening my horizons,
Mm-hmm.
bringing in some TNA into my life.
Speaking of
Is there
broadening
any-
your horizons,
Is there any Ring of Honor in your life in there, too?
A little bit.
Okay, just wondering.
All right, but
he's just marking out for our in-studio guest right now.
No, it's a line I've said over the years, and I thought I'd
How is it relevant right now?
Here, Linda and Meathead.
Never happened.
Quite honestly, though, Connor, I truly enjoy what I'm seeing right now. Again, just being a big fan of WWE for all these years, I like seeing Jeff Hardy on right now. I like seeing RVD and them being involved in different storylines, something kind of different. I don't know. I'm really digging something new, and a lot of my friends are really enjoying seeing some of their favorite superstars that were recently, off
Like the
WWE.
Nasty Boys?
Yes.
Or
They've been promoted to customer, actually, the Nasty Boys.
They say they're not released.
They've been set free to explore other employment opportunities.
That's apparently a nasty internet rumor.
Nasty.
You've been reading those dirt sheets, haven't you?
I don't read dirt sheets. I don't read spoilers.
Thank you very much for that email, Connor, from over in Ireland. Let's go to Essex, England now, and Russell sends this in. After the demise of Crime Time, yawn, this leaves...
I was yawning. That was a fact, dude. Keep going, man.
After the demise of Crime Time, yawn, this leaves the division in an even weaker position. When the Hart Dynasty win the tag titles, which will be soon, when people look back, this achievement is not going to be worth much due to the lack of depth. When looking back at one of my favorite wrestling years, 2000, I can think of 20 different tag teams and or factions, good and bad, that competed throughout the year. Are we now at the stage where WWE is close to doing the unthinkable and dropping the tag team titles? Linda, your thoughts?
Well, it's pretty interesting with the unified tag titles. I mean,
Who's one half of the Unified Tag Team Champions?
Big Show and Miz?
No. 1/2. You're supposed to say Big Show, and that's when I say.
Oh.
He's the Miz, and he's awesome. Can you say
thank
awesome
you.
like the Miz?
Awesome.
Folks, you're never going to get that 15 seconds back, ever.
But yes, with the Unified Tag Team titles, you know what? I think it's time for them to kind of split that up again. I mean, it's nice to have more tag teams, like you said, Russell. Just like back in 2000, you said 20 different tag teams, good or bad. I mean, all the different combinations, yeah. And I don't know. It's nice to see each show to have their own tag team.
One of those tag teams in the year 2000, a lot of people talk about the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg Jesse James. They're actually going to be in town this weekend for Great Lakes Championship Wrestling's Attitude and Hell Froze Over event, along with Roddy Piper, Tracy Brooks, the Skull Crusher Rashi Brown of Ring of Honor, and so many more talents. You can go ahead and get information for that at blizzardbrawl.com, blizzardbrawl.com. Tickets are moving rapidly for that event. Meathead, Tag Team Wrestling. Do you think WWE is close to doing the unthinkable, as Russell from Essex, England says, and dropping those tag team
I'm going to do
straps?
two things. One, give my opinion on that question, and actually kind of counterpoint Linda's opinion as well. There's just no way they can actually sustain two separate tag team divisions with this splitting up of the belts again, because there's not enough for one set of belts. And it's kind of my point to what Russell has mentioned. There's just no emphasis on tag team wrestling right now in the WWE, to the point where I don't think they're ever gonna, dissolve them, but they may just forget about them. Honestly,
Forget about it.
Show Miz just carries them around to make it look like they're more important.
So you're saying that the titles are just losing it,
The titles have no steam to them whatsoever.
Got all the steam in the world. Miz
They
is
have
one half
no-
of the tag team champion.
They have no steam to them whatsoever because no one cares about a tag team division. When all you're doing is just having a little interaction with one team, that's not a tag team division. We've had this conversation on 540 ESPN before, you and me, solo. And I owned you then, I'm owning you right now. There is no tag team division in the WWE.
Did I say anything to his point? So how could he be owning me now?
Counterpoint.
I never pointed.
Go. I pointed. Here's where you counterpoint.
I am very intrigued by what's going on with the Miz and the Big Show and the Hart Dynasty, and let's see where that goes. But yes, WWE sees more value, obviously, in singles talents than they do tag team talents. And look at some of the great singles talents that have come out of tag teams. Shawn Michaels, obviously, John Morrison, The Miz, several people who have been teamed up. They've had some failures as well. Remember when they broke up the Dudleys? And we had Brother Devon testifying.
Reverend Devon, or you had Cade and Murdoch who came in as a team. You had the Highlanders who were just flat. You had, all these other teams that just didn't do it. You had the guys, the Richards, otherwise known as the...
Which one do you say?
No.
Of course he does.
No.
He's a bit of a pervert. I'm not sure if you've realized that in your time here.
No.
Thank you for that email, Russell, over in Essex, England. We're going to take a time out, and when we come back, we've got an email from Josh in Connecticut. This is the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive.
AirTran Airlines and Romines High Pockets present a GLTW Weekend Extravaganza, April 16th and 17th, featuring greats such as TNA Knockout Tracy Brooke, BG Road Dogg James, and Rowdy Roddy Piper. April 16th in Racine, April 17th in Waukesha. BlizzardBrawl.com is where you can get your tickets, which start at only $10. Great Lakes Championship Wrestling, a huge weekend extravaganza.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. It's going to be a good show down at the Racine Memorial Hall and also in Waukesha, or Waukesha, as some people call it. If you're in the southeastern Wisconsin area, actually, there's people come from Iowa and Minnesota for the show. Go on over to blizzardbrawl.com for all the information on that. Let's continue on the email trail here on PWR Interactive. We've got an email from Josh in Connecticut. And Josh asks this. Listen closely, y'all. My question. Was TNA's ratings seem to have gotten worse and worse since the...
Hold up! Guess who's here? It's the Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown.
In the flesh. I didn't realize you were... I'm sorry.
Why are you interrupting him, Rashi?
No better.
Thank you, sir.
I've cleared my schedule, people, so I will be at primetime tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'll be at
You
prime time
heard
tomorrow.
me.
Where's
You
Hero?
better... I'm your hero tomorrow.
Well, this ought to be... This is going to be fun. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, get back to your show.
For The Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown.
Why would you interrupt him?
I had a question. We're doing a live show here.
The man was talking to you. You interrupted him. It's all right.
I wish he'd have hit you. God, just one punch would have taken you out, and all our words would be
One
done.
punch would have knocked me out into another land. That's a big boy.
KTFO.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow night on PWR Primetime, I guess Hero's out and Skull Crusher is in. We'll make sure you tune in for that. It should be entertaining, to say the least.
That's where you get back.
Let's get back to Josh in Connecticut. I'm a little shaken up. He's a big man. He didn't even say anything to you.
I know. Maybe he didn't see me.
Oh, he saw you. My question, and this is Josh in Connecticut. My question was, TNA's ratings seem to have gotten worse and worse since the January 4th show. The one bright spot was last Monday's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. show, which had risen where the week before it fell. What else would TNA have to do to continue to increase their ratings? I remember in an interview a while back, Hulk Hogan said that his TNA debut would pull in a 3.0 rating, something which TNA has yet to do. Do you think Hogan puts too much pressure on himself and TNA? P.S. Bubba Army for life. Josh. I'm sorry, Mita? What?
Dude, Bubba is awful.
Josh likes him.
Josh, you and I are going to have to talk. Josh, and as we're talking, we need to talk about how, and I'm not telling you what to do, but as a wrestling fan, we should pull the rating stuff just out of our minds. Just enjoy the product that you're seeing. Watch as much as you can, and just enjoy the product. Don't worry about the business stuff. Just try to enjoy what you're watching on TV as much as you can. So there is no answer to that question.
Linda, do you think Hulk Hogan is putting too much pressure on himself and TNA to defeat, in Josh's mind, WWE in the ratings?
Well, I'm just putting up the ratings, but I will say I agree with you on the
Enjoy.
working in radio and past, like just enjoying what you're getting. If you like the product,
Right.
keep watching, and if you don't, then you have to tune in. But as far as my opinion on if Hogan's putting too much pressure on himself, I guess maybe a little bit to try to step up against what he's done in the past, trying to bring a different product in, but I don't know, as far as the ratings show, it may not be working per se, but I don't know. I personally am enjoying the product, so I'm happy with it.
Are you the people out there in the internet wrestling community
IWC, yep.
accuse Meathead of being a TNA mark?
No!
Are you a TNA mark?
I love both shows, that's all I got.
Well, no. out there, in the world there, you can't enjoy both shows.
Okay.
That's what they tell us all the time.
All right.
You have to pick one or the other, and you have to slam the other one and call it names and pick on its ratings.
You know what you need to do is actually go through counseling. I went through counseling once as
See
a
where it got
mark.
'em.
I went through counseling once as a mark, and maybe Dr. Nelson can help you too.
I don't know, maybe my opinion will change.
Put that feel good on you.
Whoa!
Oh.
Well, that's a prescription, isn't it? It'll be free soon, so it's fine. As you heard earlier, thank you for that email, Josh. And as you heard earlier, a brand new episode of PWR Primetime tomorrow. I will readily admit I'm a little scared. I'm afeared of it. We'll see what happens with Ring of Honor's very own Rashi Brown. And speaking of that, make sure you check out this week's episode of the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, available on demand at pwrshow.com. For Linda Kay and the man they call Meathead, this is Damian Nelson saying we'll see you tomorrow on PWR Primetime.